Hey guys, welcome to the show. We're waiting on a few people coming in actually, guys. We're here joined by Lex Paranormal tonight. I hope you give him a subscribe. And we're waiting on Drew coming in, but you know what Drew's like. It just takes a wee while. So we're just going to be talking about paranormal stuff tonight, guys, but we'll let it fill up for a couple of minutes or two. So, Lex, what have you been doing in the paranormal field this week?
I've literally done nothing at the moment. It's becoming a bit of a pain. I've been sorting out plans for when I come out of lockdown to what I'm doing next. I've got obviously I can't remember if I said it last time, but I've got 2 series planned. Which one of them's easy. I think it'll either be a 2 or 3 part episode, and then after that we've got one of the most haunted inns in the UK. So that one I've got to wait for them to get open and allow guests to stay over and stuff like that again. Well, so not really a lot this time around.
Soon. The lockdown's got to be ending. We're going to be out there in the dark.
Yeah, I actually can't wait.
Roaming free, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I bet you after the lockdown, I bet there's quite a few accidents with people going out ghost hunting. Because they'll be that anxious to go out, they'll not go and wreck the place, they'll not go and look at it, they'll go at night and they'll fall down halls.
Well, this is my thing. How lonely have the spirits been since all of this? We've not been there to bug them this time. They're going to be happy to see us. I'm expecting an active time.
I'm active. I bet he is. Let's see who's in the chat. Graveyards of Scotland. We've got Dobie Sock. Hello, Dobie. We've got myself, Misty Cat, Scottish Outlooker. There's a good guy there. And Dobie again.
Hello, everyone.
Dobie, if Dobie wants to join, you can join if you want, Dobie. I'll put it's Dobie there. She's quite good. She likes to ask questions. You know, she's one of my mods. But I'll post the link in here if she wants to.
I will say, as a British man from London, the name Dobby Sock has made me laugh. Oh dear!
Oh my
God. Good old Harry Potter.
She's Scottish. I'll have you know.
Well, I'm assuming if she knows you.
She's been on my channel a few times. Really nice person. So it'll be good to get out. It really will be good to get out. Can't wait to go ghost hunting way Parachills. That'll be even better.
That's what I'm literally waiting for, the first one, because I know that I'm not an investigator for them anymore, but I'm still gonna go as soon as they get the go ahead to go. Then I'm definitely going. I know that I've got a job. I'm being sent to Ireland for Parachills to go and do a thing there. I don't know if there's more than just me. As far as I know, he's asked me.
Which island is it?
No idea. He hasn't sent me the file yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing it because I want to go to Dublin because I need to go to the Guinness factory. So
I think I know where that is.
Yeah. I want to know where it is. I need to know how easy it is to get there. Don't spoil the surprise.
Aye. There's a lot of places we're going to be going. I'm looking forward to going to the Parachills. They want me and Drew to go to. Is it? What's the Edinburgh? Is it Edinburgh Dungeons? The Edinburgh? What do you call it? Vaults?
Oh, the vaults, yeah.
And
which looks mad.
It's all underground there. Yeah, I mean, I was in there with the school. Oh my God! Here we go, everybody. You're about to find out my age. I'm 40 this year. Right. I went there when I was 8 with the school. Now that couldn't have been 1990 sometime. I can't even remember.
Yeah.
I can remember going there with the school, and it's meant to be haunted by this wee girl or something because they've got like a wee. But it's no that you have no idea of the murders that were committed in their legs. I mean, it was like, I mean, you know, when I done that case and that you obviously read it. I mean, it was ridiculous. It was hundreds of thousands of people died in there.
Yeah, that place. I mean, underground freaks me out already. For a place underground with that much fatality is that's a different vibe. That's a completely different vibe. Oh, it's gonna make myself comfortable. Bear with me, guys. Whoa.
Right, we're just waiting, and Drew, I wonder where she is. She'll be. I'm telling you, she'll be sitting there watching Coronation Street or something like that. That's what we would watch. I don't know. He was watching that kind of stuff, you know. But
Yeah, well,
what's that?
I was gonna say, talking about doing the underground stuff. My sister lives in, and I'm also planning on going to do the underground railway that they've got there, the hidden city.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they call it an underground city. It's not. It's like it's the old archways, and you can see that
Where's
bit
this
used to be
about?
above
Is that
ground.
in Edinburgh? Is that
Manchester,
Edinburgh?
Manchester. No, it's in,
Manchester?
but this one's in Manchester. Yeah.
Is that? I've never heard of
Some
that.
people,
What you tell us
yeah,
about
yeah. So if you look, some people have been there, and you exploring with fighters went there. Um, who else went there? I can't remember.
that?
Someone else went there. I watched both. I watched two videos on it, and it seems quite a big area. It's known as the underground city. You have to go through a storm drain to get there. But apparently they're trying very hard not to tell everyone where this drain is. But I know where it is, so I'm just waiting for. I'm waiting for us to be able to travel up to Manchester to go and see my family, and then I can do that video while I'm there. But I also need to get in touch with the guide that I've got that's going to help us get into it.
Urban Explorers or something like that.
Yeah, it's a girl my friend knows, and she's been there like 3 or 4 times. So we were asking if do you mind if you can take us down there, just to get a vibe? Because the one video I saw where is it exploring? It's someone who doesn't do ghosts, or they didn't, and now
Is it that guy?
I can't remember who it is.
Exploring? Where is he American or is he Canadian?
I cannot remember. I know that he went down with another group of people, and then they were doing. They were there for a day or something, and they went down. I'm just trying to see if I can find out who it is, but they don't really do ghost stuff. I don't believe in it.
I think I can who you're talking about. Is Exploring where? Is he a Canadian guy? Is that a Canadian guy?
Oh no, it was Nightscape.
Right. No, yeah, I can't.
So exploring with fighters already went.
Yep.
And then I watched Nightscape's video, and he doesn't do ghost videos or all that. He does like ridiculous. He climbs up skyscrapers and stuff like that. He's a pretty bad one. But he went down there.
There's one that I watch. Where you go? Sorry.
Yeah, so I was like, he went down there, doesn't believe in ghosts, and they were all quiet because they heard something, and something sounded like a scream, so they all legged it. So I've been interested in going because of that.
You got to remember with a lot of these underground places, I mean, a lot of sounds can sound like screams. I mean, screams, it could be a subway station.
Yeah, someone did say, yeah, because one of them was like, oh, it's just the echo from up there, because you can hear cars driving past.
Right.
But then this was moving around it was ridiculous. It was just a bit creepy. I don't think it was anything, but until I go there myself, I'm never going to know.
There's some of these places are absolutely amazing. I mean, there are a lot of places that you're not allowed to go into are amazing. I mean, see like ex-military sites. I mean, look at the White Cliffs of Dover, right? Look at there's seemingly 30 miles of tunnels under there. And that was in case we're getting
just let us in. You should just let people in. If you're not using it, let us in. I get why they don't, because it gets destroyed and whatnot.
It gets damaged to you, but then again, some of it could be unstable. See what I'm saying?
But if it's like that, then I understand why they wouldn't. But there are places that I've been to that have ridiculous amount of guard to stop you getting into it, and there's no reason for it. They're going to tear it down in a few months anyway. The place I went to for episode 2 of my videos, it's been torn down this year. It's been closed for 7 years, yet they still wouldn't. I mean, we got in for an open window, or a missing window, so we just climbed in anyway. But they had fences up, cameras up. It was ridiculous.
That's what I mean. These places will be lost to time. You know what I mean? They'll be gone. I mean, there is a few places near me I would love to go ghost hunting, but they're totally off bounds because you can't get into them. I mean, it's like totally big steel doors. You need to climb up a wall to get into them, but I'm not climbing up a big wall. But there's some really interesting. I know of vaults where bodies are.
Oh yeah.
But getting to it is dodgy. Very.
Yeah.
You need to count your day. But in the vaults itself, there was meant to be about 15 or 16 bodies.
Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Just hearing that freaks me out. Like everywhere I've been so far, except for the graveyard that obviously had a load of bodies in it,
Mm-hmm.
but everywhere else I've been so far hasn't been like that. I've been to a house that's been burnt down 3 times in a year, and someone died in the pool. So that was like the only place I've been to so far that had a death in it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Apart from number 2, I don't know. Number 2 was like a care home, so I'm assuming people probably died in there.
No, but
Yeah.
aye.
But it's
How
weird when
close
you
are
read
you?
it.
How close are you to Southampton? By any chances?
Not too far. A couple of hours away. About
Because I
an
know
hour
if
and a half.
I know if a house there, I'd maybe talk to you fair about that.
Yeah.
That's
I'll have a look. I like travel. I
it's
travel
meant
anyway.
it's meant to be. I'll see if I can find out where it is. But what's that Scottish Outlooker? I never seen this live schedule for tonight because I know that's YouTube. YouTube's been playing up nothing terrible, usual, you know. But listen, guys, if you've not already subscribed to Lex Paranormal, you need to go there and subscribe, guys. You want to post your link, Lex? I'll see if I can find you a minute.
Let me just grab
Post
my
it.
link.
I'll find you the note. Let's see. I'm looking forward to getting it, guys, because I think it'll be good, you know, because all the places have been researched. Oh my god, I'll no be able to, my bare feet will be worn out. Lex Paranormal, here you are here. Do you know I've got over 300 subscriptions to people?
Fuck hell.
I'm
Mama
actually
language this.
That's right, you can swear on here if you want. Share, copy link. Right, there you go. It's up in the chat, guys. So you want to go there if you're not subscribed already? Please subscribe.
Oh, that's my Twitter page. I did the wrong link.
Oh, wait.
Follow
That's
me
Twitter,
on there as well.
I go to Twitter, guys. I'm just going to click on your Twitter link right as we speak. I don't know if I'm ready. There's the link to his. I've just put out, but I'm going to click on his Twitter link, see if I'm.
I'm pretty sure you are.
I think I'm. I clicked on it. But there you go. Wait, now have I brought it up yet? There we go. That's the link to your channel. Don't know why it comes up with the numbers at the end. You know, I just went to your page, copied it, and then pasted it into the thing.
I don't know how to get the custom URL because I've got enough subs now to do it. But apparently, you can get a custom URL after 100, but I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I mean, it doesn't bother me. I'd just rather it be shorter than UCC5. Thank you, Dovey Sock.
Thanks, Dobby. I've got 2 other accounts which I'll subscribe to you after. Right. We need to get them up to 200, guys. We need to get them there. You know,
the race
we
at
can't
200.
Get into the tomb below Manchester under 200 subscribers. You might never see them again.
Thanks.
Can you imagine you came to come back up, right, in a van parked on top of the hatch?
I'd be so mad. I'm pretty sure there'd be more than one way in and out, but imagine, the luck of that. But the drain is actually on the path, so someone would have to be stood on it or put something on top of it because it's not on the road. It's like an old sewer drain opposite a church. So that narrowed it down quite easily when I saw the church in the video. I was like, I know where it is.
I bet you there's an entrance in the church to there.
There could potentially be. There's a lot of it's been sealed off. They had like loads of different. There's still a lot of it open, but there was a lot of different corridors that you can see that have been sealed. But it is crazy. You've got like little buildings with windows and stuff still in there. You got the old school toilets are still there. So it's really weird.
I would like to go to, was it the Paris catacombs?
Yeah, so I really want to, but I don't know. I'd be so worried about I've seen so many people go in there with tour guides who get left inside.
Really? Obviously,
yeah. So there's been, again, it was Nightscape, YouTuber. He went with a friend of his. A tour guide took them through. And then when they stopped, they'd been walking for a long time. And when they stopped, he was like, "I'm going to go to take a leak." And when he came back, the guy had stolen his camera and disappeared and left him in there.
Really?
Thankfully, they got out. They found, they were in there for an extra like 4 hours or something. And then someone else walked past. So they said to them, like, "Can you help us get out?" And thankfully they did. Another YouTube group did it, but I'm pretty sure it's fake that they got left behind.
I Ken Ghost
Because
Adventurers went there.
so this was TFIL. They went there, and they claimed they would have died. And the tour guide actually texted them at the end and said, "Oh, I didn't realize you'd make it out, but I hope it made for a better video." Like the video was really good, but there's like a bit where there's meant to only be 3 of them now because the tour guide had left.
Aye.
Or 4 of them, and then when they're walking back, they're using the camera footage to retrace their steps. There's a bit where he walks down a corridor, and then as he does, you can see the other headlight of the guy in front of him who shouldn't be there. So you know that he didn't. You know he didn't actually leave them. So, but Nightscape's one's real. So that would. I'd love to do Catacombs, but that would scare me.
You ever seen the video of the guy that's meant to be? They found the video. Have you ever seen that video? The one that Ghost Adventurers showed. There was meant to be a guy doing their video and something, and in the video you see the camera dropping into the water, and he just runs away. You never seen that one?
Well, I'll look it up.
It was on Ghost Adventurers. What's that? Mystic Cat Chris. I saw a film about the catacombs.
That would be As Above, So Below is the film based on the catacombs.
That's it. They go and steal the Knights Templar's jewel or something like that. And everything.
Ironically, the jewel is the Philosopher's Stone, which was made by Nicholas Flamel, which is what Harry Potter is based on, number 1. So, which I didn't know. I didn't know the stone was a real thing until I watched that film. So I googled it and I was like, surely there's some copyright issues here. And then I found out obviously Nicholas Flamel was a real person and the stone's real. So, yeah, that film is actually that is a mind fuck. Completely.
And what does the stone actually do? What is the stone meant to do? Is it meant to turn everything to gold or something?
It turns everything to gold, and drinking the material of it is supposed to prolong life, so you don't die. That's the rumor, and that's what Harry Potter ran with.
Hey, Sheriff, welcome. I would love to go down there. I mean, and what was there was something? Was it in the 1800s or was it the 1700s, where a part of Paris actually collapsed into the catacombs itself?
Yeah, so part of the city fell through. Yeah,
because it was originally was it a limestone quarry?
Yes.
Yes,
I think so. Yeah.
I would like to see the bit where all the bones are piled.
That doesn't freak me out as much as people might think that it would. I think because before I started doing this, I've actually studied in forensic science.
Hey,
so, hello. So I've done I studied forensic science. So dealing with things like that was easy. And so if I was in the catacombs and came across a bone, I'd just be like, "Wow, that's what we look like underneath," and that would be it. It's the idea. I think finding physical skeletons in a place where they belong it's like finding a skeleton in a graveyard. It's not that bad because you like, oh, maybe it's come up somehow. Yeah, maybe it's the zombies, or maybe an animal has knocked the bones up, whatever. But if you were to go to a haunted hotel and you go to the basement and there's a hatch to go underground, and you go under there and then there's a dead body, that scares me. But the catacombs are just scary. They're just so big.
I don't think for me it wouldn't be the fear of the bodies, it'd be the fear of getting lost. Because
that's pretty much it.
Lost in there, you're screwed.
Yeah. So being lost I'm not that claustrophobic, but I think if I didn't know my way back, then claustrophobia would probably hit me. But I've always been like an outdoorsy adventure type person anyway. So I used to when I used to go to beaches and stuff, I used to find little caves in the side of the rocks and stuff and walk around them. So, and I've been underground before, being lost where I don't know how to get back, that is so terrifying.
Oh, I mean, I know people living in that kind of urban exploring, and they've went into coal mines.
Yeah.
And down there, folk don't realise it all looks the same, right? So you could walk for like 500 yards, climb down a shaft, walk for another 500 yards, turn round, but the bit that you've just came for looks like the bit that you're in.
Yeah.
and they've been lost. They have been lost, and that's see they say about the Paris catacombs and that, and how there's a big police presence, right, and how they're trying to hide stuff. No, the thing that the police are trying to do is stop people getting lost because they can't be asking down to get them. That's what it'll be. That'll be
But
there's
you're actually not
monsters.
you're actually not allowed to go into the other side of the catacombs. You can do the tour,
Yes.
which takes you into a certain bit, but the entrance that people are using to get in is actually illegal.
Right.
So if you get caught going in, that's why they don't tell you how to get there on YouTube videos. They just happen to be at the entrance. Because it's illegal because of how unsafe it is.
No,
But you know what adventurers and investigators are like. We are
oh,
living on the edge. We don't.
exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's some really
Mhm.
interesting places, but I would leave that out there. I don't think I could do that. I've got a thing about heights. I don't like heights. And see when I
Oh
look
yeah.
at water, I can't swim. If you ever see me splashing about in the water, jump in and save me, because I can't swim. And see, just looking at dark black water, there's something about it. It's just
Yeah. So I don't know if it's just the I don't know if it's the explorer in me or not. But so before I did this YouTube, I actually wanted to do an exploration YouTube instead. And I
yeah.
don't mean like I'm in like proper treasure hunting explorations. I was going to try and go to places that are going to break my body to try and get to. And then I just fell into this, but I'm still going to do an explorer treasure hunting type channel at some point. But I don't know what it is about that adventure in me, but like swimming, the water I've never been that afraid of, apart from when I used to bridge jump in my town,
Really?
jump off bridges all the time. Yeah, do it all the time. I used to, I don't do it anymore. And so I'm quite a strong swimmer. Used to do it all the time. Got in
I
trouble
tried
with
to
the
swim,
police
can I?
because of it. But yeah, there's one time we chose to swim from one side of the river to the other side, which isn't that far. It's far enough that if you can't swim, you're not going to make it. But and I've done this 4 or 5 times, forward and backwards. It was no problem. But one of the times we did it, about halfway, for some reason, in cartoons when someone's trying to run down a corridor, but the corridor keeps getting bigger.
You
It
get further
felt
away.
like
The
that.
current.
So yeah, I was
Swim
halfway
against
through. The river was really, but the river wasn't flowing. It was quite still water. I got halfway,
it.
and for some reason my eyes tunnel visioned, and it looked like it was miles away, and my body went into panic. Almost drowned. I had a friend who I almost pulled under with me, so we had someone else actually jumped in to get me. But thankfully, if they didn't, I would have died. But I was
See,
afraid of
that's
water for a little while after that. I used to I wouldn't go in the bath. I wouldn't go in the swimming pool. I would shower. I would put my feet in the pool, and I had to really work on my attitude of water to get back into it. Now I love it again. Now, though.
I can't. You kind of tried to learn to swim at the swim bars. I tried to actually learn to swim, and I couldn't do it. And the lifeguards tried to learn me to swim, and I just couldn't do it. I was like a brick. Every time I let go of me, I just can't swim. I don't know if it's maybe a previous life. Something's happened to me. Because see, when I come up to, I can see when I go to drive across for it. I'm driving my car, and there's a few bridges. You've got the Forth Road Bridge, that's all right. But there is, as further north you go, you've got a bridge near Oban called Connell Bridge, right? It's a
Yeah.
strange kind of name, right? But Dobby will know what I'm talking about in the chat. And it's the tides. It's actually an inland lake that joins with the sea. And see when the tides join, it's change.
Yeah.
It's like big black swirling pool. What? I can't drive across it when it's like that. I'm like, and you're just like stuck looking at it, and then you see all the divers training, and that's where they train. I don't know how they can do that kind of stuff, man. Honestly,
I
30,
want to at
40
some
feet deep.
point. I'd love to be able to be I wouldn't want to be a diver, but I would love to learn to dive just to do it once. I've
What
been
about bungee jumping?
bungee jumping. I haven't done it, but I would. I
Would you?
I have, yeah. I'm still at some point. I am going to jump out of a plane. I just haven't decided why I'm
I've
going to
always
do it yet.
fancied that. I have always fancied that.
Yeah, so my sister
But
did it for Macmillan Cancer Research, and she smashed it, made so much money, and then she threw herself out of a plane. And my grandma, obviously,
wow.
so she'd done the same thing, and it was really cool to see. I mean, she raised a lot of money, and just to do that, and it was great. And she's terrified of heights.
Then you go there, Scottish Hurling Cup. I'm a decent swimmer. Almost drowned in a river because my mate said it. So see, that's the thing.
Oh.
See, that's
A
the
mate
thing.
told you a joke is just, oh dear. And I don't know about, like, I personally feel like drowning is the only way that I think I'm terrified of ever going out, because it's horrible. Probably being on fire as well, to be
Well,
honest. But
I
that the
actually have a
drowning was
friend.
terrifying.
I actually have a friend, and he might come on with me one day on the show. But he was a salvage operator, diver. He
Yeah,
actually dived on the Costa Concordia. You know the ship I'm talking about.
yeah.
And he had to get in to retrieve bodies and that. But he also worked with the police, and they had to go and get stuff and that. And he said he loved it, right? But I don't know how you could do that. You know what I'm saying? It's as kind of he had a few things that happened to him where he can nearly get stuck a few times. I mean, can you imagine that getting stuck? Because that's what happened to him. That's what happened to him.
Jeez.
It was what you've got is you've got like a buddy diver. Kind of you get a
Yeah.
buddy diver, and he's meant to follow you about, right? And they were on this ship, and it was some kind of oil tanker that was on its side or something. And he went, he seen this pipe, and he thought, I can make it down there. So he started swimming down, right? And there was a pipe. Inside the pipe hung his tanks. They got hung up.
Oh, so you got stuck in it.
So, so he went to swim forward. No. So he thought, I'll go back the way. No. So he's like, right, my buddy diver will come and save me. No. He decided to get in the engine room and no follow his pal. By some sheer luck, he made it out. It was actually quite a
Jesus.
spooky story, but how it goes, isn't that? I'll maybe share it with you. I shared it last week actually. It was the same
No, I'll
guy
have to
that
go back
seen
on
the
it.
photo.
Oh yeah.
It's when he was drawing out the pipe and that. I mean, I don't know. The parachuting though. The parachuting. Hands, thumbs up in the chat, guys. Who wants to see Lex getting thrown out of an airplane? For charity.
I don't know what this is. I have. I think I mentioned it last time I was on here. I have this really horrible obsession of wanting to feel fear, and it stems from when I was a kid. You know when films used to scare you when you were a kid,
God,
like
ready
the.
not. Walking
Do you
Dead's
remember?
fixed that.
Yeah, so so I don't films don't scare me. So and I miss that feeling of being afraid, and it was like to the extent where Toy Story 1, the doll's
God,
head with the spider legs used to terrify me. And I remember how I felt when I
that's right.
first watched it. And I suppose in terms of why I would do these things is I'm chasing that feeling. Uh, some films still freak me out a bit. I think the last film I was scared of was The Nun, but that's because the character actually scares me
I didn't
rather
like
than the
that one.
film. So I
I
liked
didn't
it. I
really.
like all those films, but it's just that the actual Nun itself, the image of
When I
it
was
scares
young,
me.
when I was younger, the film The Thing, that scared you. You know
The
the
Thing was a
first
good
one.
film. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very good
The
film.
first one. The second one's really shite. But
They usually are.
remakes are usually rubbish, you know.
Yeah,
But
but that's literally it. That's why I think I want to do this stuff. Is I'm just chasing that. Well, like an adrenaline rush. I just want to feel afraid, and I think sometimes you need it. Feeling a
if you
little bit
want,
afraid is not always a bad thing.
well, if you want, we can all chip in, get a barrel, stick you in it. You can go out Niagara Falls.
No, you know what? Luck, I'd survive that. I don't know how, but I would. I'll have to bring a lucky backpack, and hopefully the straps catch
The
on to me
bungee,
or something. I don't know.
see the bungee jumping there. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
I think so.
Right,
Bungee jumping
yeah.
surreal because you can see. There's a so the thing about this, I think this is what people don't understand is like when you're skydiving and you're attached to somebody, you have to put your trust in them because they're the ones that are going to save your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But bungee jumping, there is no one to save your life. If that thing snaps,
No.
you're gone. But in the long run, this is what I say to people who are really afraid of doing this stuff. Is sorry about that, pardon me.
That's
Is
okay.
if you bungee jump or skydive and it goes wrong, you're probably dead. You're not going to feel
Yes.
it because you're dead. There are certain things I've seen a bungee jumper accident before. It was nasty, and he survived it. Broke both his legs. Thanks somehow he done like when he went down, the cord snapped and he tucked. So when he landed, he actually rolled and then landed on it. Instead of hitting his head, he hit his legs and broke his legs, and he did something to his spine. doesn't feel it. Didn't feel it when it happened.
No.
I think I think when you're scared, these are the things that scare. I think people are more afraid of the idea that something could go wrong, rather than feeling what it's going to feel like after you've done it. Because I think that's the best thing. That's the thing you never get back. You can skydive once, and that'll be the best thing you've ever done in your life. You do it twice, the second time you're not going to get the feeling. And I think that's what's great about adrenaline and fear is you're always going to be looking for another way to get it. It's a massive drug.
What about cliff jumping?
Cliff jumping, I probably would do it. I mean, I used to, like I said, I jumped off bridges. So cliff jumping, I've done small cliffs before, nothing massive. When I was in Devon, but I haven't done it in a very long time.
There's a guy, Scottish Outlook. I heard of a guy on a bungee cord. When he went down, he came back up, the cord wrapped around his neck.
That would have been a serious turn of events to do that.
That's actually.
I mean, the physics alone, he would have had to swung up higher than the length of the rope. That would have been really weird. I mean, but if we and look at the stats of how often accidents happen on them, it's very small.
Well,
you got more chance to win the lottery.
There's been people that survived without their parachute opening.
Yeah, there's a dude I saw. He jumped out of a plane. His parachute didn't go. Oh no, he was paragliding, and he jumped off this huge cliff, and for some reason, the wind wasn't taking to his his paraglider, and so he just literally fell, and he landed. He fell through trees.
Oh,
and that's what
I've seen that one. I've seen that one. I've seen that.
He ends up stuck on a branch or something, but he's completely fine. He's got a few bruises and a cracked rib, but he fell from like 250 feet, but a tree caught him. And I was like, that's insane.
I was just thinking, I mean, talking about ghost hunting and stuff like that, like, see how you had D-Day, you had World War II, right? You think of the pilots' parachutes that didn't open, jumping out. Can you go into these haunted battlefields and stuff? I mean, I seen a thing on the TV about it, and it was actually the Americans were wandering through the woods after they'd taken a certain area, right? And they looked up, and there was actually Germans who shot them when they were coming down, and they were hanging for the trees. Parachutes.
Yeah, I mean that's always a risky time to parachute into places, into a war zone. But again, mad respect for everyone involved.
Oh, I couldn't get.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, one day I'll let you know. We'll do when I choose to decide it's my time to jump out of a plane, and I've picked my charity. Then you and me, we'll do a fundraiser and raise money for charity, and I will do it. I'll do a money target. I'll say if I hit this target, I'll bungee jump. If I do this target, I'll parachute. Or whatever. We'll find something. But I'm definitely gonna do it because it's just another thing I haven't done yet.
I think it'd be awesome. I think it would be awesome. You see, I've watched their videos, guys, and I don't know if anyone in the chat's seen them. You've probably seen them, Lex, man. You see them on the plane, they're sitting there, and the guy's strapped to them, and you can tell this guy's done this like 500 times, right? This guy's no way bother. And the guy's like, oh, I've changed my mind, I don't want to go. And the guy's like, we're going, no. Holding on to the seat of the plane.
But they do this really clever thing, and I do this. Theme parks do it. I do it when I'm trying to tempt people to do something that might scare them a little bit. Is they do the fake countdown? So they're like, okay, we're gonna jump in 3, and then when they say 3, and then they jump, because fear is our biggest obstacle. It's the one thing that we're never gonna conquer it. People who don't have any fear whatsoever, I sort of feel sorry for them because you don't get the rush. But fear's a really good thing. And it feels amazing to overcome it, and I think that's why people do this stuff, and that's why people love it. It's just the most addictive job. Like, I get an adrenaline rush from doing investigations, from going to some of these scary places, and that's one of the reasons why I love doing them. Because even if you're allowed to be somewhere, when you feel like you're not allowed to be there, you get that rush of being you shouldn't, which is good, and then you get some scary stuff happening to you, which adds on to that. So it's a huge trip. So fear is a biggest obstacle, but it is one of our most valuable qualities, and we should always try and climb it every time.
Well, see, that's the thing, right? I ken somebody that done the parachute, right? See, now they do it every weekend.
See, this is the thing. If you do it that often, I mean, I get it when you're like when you're just doing parachuting, or if you're doing what's the one called? You jump off buildings and you're parachute to another building. It's a sport, but I can't remember what to call it.
But is that
But
base jumping?
base jumping there. So I was like, when you do it as often as that, I don't know how the appeal doesn't wear off. I mean, I guess because you're really high in the air and you could potentially fall and die at any time. But when people do it a lot, I generally feel like surely the novelty must wear off. But
There's
I haven't done
Scottish,
it yet to find out.
there's Scottish outlander. What is that? The paragliding. That's the one where you
Yeah,
run down the hill holding the thing.
you're
Or
holding
is
onto
that
the metal bars, yeah.
Or what's the one with the parachute? There's a one where you can run with a parachute too.
Oh,
They do it in like
wait,
Switzerland and stuff.
is that
Jump
the
over mountains.
windsuits?
No,
So
no, 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 no,
the
no, no. They run along, and they tow the parachute with them, and the parachute goes up, and then it starts to pick them up, and then they just flee off the cliff, and then
yeah,
they can
paragliders.
stay up.
That's
They can stay up for ages.
that's a paraglider. The ones that are holding onto it, and then the wind suits is the one thing I don't think I'll ever get to try.
What about the jetpacks?
Oh no, jetpacks are overrated. Give me a suit which I have to do this, and it gives me wings and somehow lifts me off the ground for ages. I'll do that any day of the week. But jetpack, I would love it once just to be like James Bond, and then I'd be like, cool. I'd rather just learn to fly normally. Just give me the power of flight, and I'll be fine.
So, changing the subject. What about
Yeah.
old bunkers? What about old bunkers? Have you ever thought about going to any old bunkers?
I've had the pleasure of going to a few of them. My old man is a ex-serviceman, so he knows where a lot of them are, and
So
I've been to a couple already.
my
There's
dad, he's did the same.
yeah, so my dad didn't get to do any combat, but he was in the army for 20 years. Left when I was a kid, so came out when I was younger.
My dad
But he
used to
always telling me about these bunker stuff, and he took me to see one. I think it was we were up north, so I can't remember. My dad lives in Grimsby, or just outside of Grimsby.
Right.
So I don't really know where this one was. It must have been. It's somewhere up there, but it's near a beach and on the hill. It's all like built into it. So we went into that one, but that was years ago. So I hadn't even experienced anything paranormal at that point. So I was just. I'm a history nerd. So when I went there, I was just like, oh wow, this was in the war.
Some of them have got. Some of them were built after the war, 1950s, 1960s, so on, 1980s.
Yeah.
But some of them were used for World War II, and the ones that were used in the war probably had deaths in them. And then there's a lot of them in London.
Yeah. I've been to bomb shelters that are still around. I've been inside a couple of those. Oh, nice. Yeah, I've been to a couple of those, and like it's weird. I don't get a paranormal vibe from them. I don't know if it's just because I haven't gone looking for it yet. But when I've been there, I'm more overwhelmed by the history of it and what it means to us as a country. That I think that distracts me completely. If I go now, it'd probably be different because now I know what I'm looking for and how to do it. But every time I've been to them before, when I used to go and just look at them because it was fun, I never really felt a vibe. It was just more like, I can't believe this is where people hid.
The ones in the coast, like between France and England,
they
ones have got severe haunting in them. Some of them have got actually poltergeist activity because it wasn't just World War II. It was like the invasion, the kind of like Napoleon and stuff like that they were built for. But there is stories about how soldiers were killed in them when they were getting built. Some of them. I mean, I would love to do something like that. Honestly,
I really would, but I think with a place like a bunker, it would be such a specific investigation because it's not gonna if you go to, let's say you go to the bunkers on the beaches of D-Day,
Normandy.
Go there, and then you go to their bunkers where we know a lot of people died.
Oh yeah.
Like it's not going to be a kid that happens to be in that bunker. So I think this is very important for many locations anyway. That I think location specific investigations for specific locations are really interesting because for a fact you go to one of these war sites, that's what you're going to be asking about. Yeah, because that's what you're trying to prove. And I have yet to find anyone from that kind of thing yet. So to do it, because I'm really into my history, and I know a lot of names of people that died, and you know, I know stupid stuff. I watch documentaries on this stuff, so I kind of know what I'd be asking, and it would just be weird. I don't know if it's just me that would be asking for any spirits, but mine would be very war specific, and I would really try and get some sort of reaction, not reaction, some sort of response in terms of they tell me, I try and get a regiment name through the spirit box or something like that. It would be really, really interesting to do it.
Or even if you were in the ones in Normandy, you could speak a wee bit German to see if there's any random souls that are trapped there. Because, I mean, if anybody's ever seen Private Ryan and all that, and the sheer carnage, I mean, with the beaches, I mean, that was just hell on earth. But,
so I got asked this question actually. I got asked a question on a live show a few weeks ago, where they said, why do all spirits in spirit boxes speak English? Which I thought was a really valid question, because every video you see, it's always English. And I was going to ask you, have you had foreign languages come through? I have. I've had someone answer me in Spanish. So this is the thing I thought was really weird, because every video I've seen, it's always been English. If you go to, there's a Russian guy I watch who gets responses in English in Russia. And I'm like, well, maybe the device translates for you. I don't know. But I always thought that's really funny. Like, especially look at all the places. I haven't heard it a lot though. That's the thing. I've heard a few. Like I said, I've been answered in Spanish. I've been told their favorite color was green in French. So like, I've got different languages before, but I've never had a whole investigation where everything came through in a different language. And that's why people, I think, question it, because it's always mostly English.
Well, the one that I did with Drew's Paranormal Vlog, the one that I did with her, we were down near, I don't know if you've ever heard of New Lark, Falls of Clyde, famous place.
Yes, I have.
But anyway, like, we were down there, and she had the spirit box, so it was that one, what do you call it? It's the app's on my phone.
Necrophonic.
Necrophonic, and it went marine, and I thought that was weird. Marine, but it was American accent.
Yeah.
Right? But which was strange when it did that, I'd wandered away because I was talking to my, this is actually a true story, by the way, Lex. I was talking to my friend on Messenger, which is in the US Marine Corps.
Yeah, that's really weird.
Right? But that's no the point in part. His best friend 2 weeks before that in the Marine Corps hung himself.
Jeez.
And then when I wandered back, it went marine. I went, what is that? That's it. I had to listen to it back. And it does, it says marine. I'll see if I can find it and I'll send you it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You can tell it's a right American accent.
Yeah, but again, American accent is still English.
Yeah.
And this is the point. This is like, I mean, I'm not going to take anything from that story, because that's insane. I don't know how I would have reacted to talking to a Marine who had a death in the friendship in the Marines, and then for that to come through, that's crazy. But like I said, it's still English, so it's just a weird thing. It's just not something you get a lot. I ask a few people, and a lot of them do say, well, I've had a few say they don't put it in the video because they can't translate it, or because their viewers are English, so they do it in English. And it's like, well, you should do it anyway. I mean, I haven't got any on video at the moment.
I mean,
but I'm still going to try. I think, because unless you know the language, you don't know it's a word in their language, I suppose.
For instance, if you went to Ireland to do an investigation, they speak Gaelic the same as the Scottish, right? They've got the wee bit of Gaelic in them. If you could learn a couple of verses of that, right, then ask the questions in that, and if it answered you back in that,
yeah,
you see what I'm trying to say?
I think that'd be more concrete.
Because what's the chat saying? What's that, man?
Huh?
No, I thought you were going to say something.
No, I was just going to say, like, if you look at in Spain, for example, if you go to Spain, which is heavily populated by British people, I know someone that did an investigation in Spain, and nothing came through in Spanish on the spirit box. It was just English, the whole thing. And I was like, that's really weird, that because this is the dude that asked me about it, and I was like, that's really weird. Are you sure? Do you understand Spanish for a start? Because how do you know they're not saying anything in Spanish? But this dude is fluent in Spanish, so he thought it was really weird that he did a spirit box session in the middle of Spain, and nothing in Spanish came through. It's all English.
See, that's, I don't know. It's, you see, what's it? Is it the obulus that it's called? The one that says the words out?
The obvious, yeah.
Can that be programmed to say different languages?
I think it depends on what your phone settings are for that one.
No, can
Or
the expensive
the
one that you can buy,
oh,
the
the expensive
handheld
one.
Aye.
I haven't tried. I'd probably say
Because if you had
it
done it there,
probably isn't.
and then taking it to somewhere where, say, there was Germans that were killed or Japanese or whatever they were, and put that down, if it started coming back in that language.
Yeah. So that's the thing that I've just not something I see a lot of, and I think a lot of it, that's why I questioned it. Because I know, like, on apps, if you change the settings, you can change the language on. I don't know about Necrophonic, but actually, I haven't even tried it on Paradise. I might need to try it on that. I haven't tested language settings on apps yet, so I don't know if it does affect it. But it's just a weird observation that I've noticed that I very, very, very rarely see people putting videos up with foreign communications through spirit boxes.
It is weird you say that, because any of the ghost hunting videos that I've watched, like Scotland, I mean, the further up north you go, the more Gaelic they are. I mean, they're all like heech and the haw and the who and the he, and you can't understand a single word they're saying. I can't speak it. But I do ken people that can speak it, and it's all been in English. I never thought about that. I have never thought about that. It has all been in English.
It's just like these weird questions I get sometimes. I got another question the other day that was really good. That the whole was it 3 a.m. ghosts?
Mm-hmm.
What is that affected by daylight savings time? Because it's not always 3 o'clock at 3 o'clock. Sometimes it's 4 o'clock at 3 o'clock because the clocks have changed. So there was that question. Apparently, if you actually look up I can't remember where. I need to find the thing for this to come on the website. Someone was defining the witch's hour for me, and this person is a tarot reader, and they said the witching hour is the same all across the globe, which isn't the case, because the witching hour apparently is 3:33 or 3 o'clock, and it's if it's my time 3 o'clock here, it is not 3 o'clock in Canada. So I don't understand. This is why I don't believe in the 3 a.m. thing, by the way. I think the witching hour is full of shit. But I think it's just told to be scarier. I think there's religious aspects to it. That's where I think that's where it stems from. I need to look into why it's called the witching hour or the devil's hour.
There's Mystica. Perhaps the spirit is attracted to the person, not the place.
Sorry, just got to get my plug. Very true. But again, I have seen foreign investigations with people who aren't English, and they still get it in English. Freemasonry, yeah. So I don't believe in. So I don't believe in the 3 o'clock thing. I think it's just been made up.
It's
because I've never seen anywhere more active at 3 o'clock than it is at 10 o'clock. I think it depends on the location. If you're dead, you can't tell the time, I don't think.
Well, in the spirit world, there's meant to be no time, isn't there? No, time doesn't exist or something in the spirit world. What happened to it?
See, they do say that, but then other people say that spirits only come out at night, which is not true.
They come out during the day too.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna. Yeah, but I said that every ghost video you see is at night time.
I've seen them during the day.
So have I. I've got a video out in the day where I got contacted. So I'm just saying specifically, go through YouTube, go through every paranormal YouTuber, find me more than straight away. Can you name me more than 10 that do investigations during the day? Consistently.
At night to make it more scary.
So that's what I mean. And that's what I think. That's why I think the 3 o'clock thing was invented, because it's a time to make scary. And I think that's why I don't believe it.
You can't see what's in the woods at night, what's out there prowling, and then let's face it, that's just for clicks and likes and subscribers.
So that I do them at night, but I do them like some of them, not all of them. Some videos I've just gone at night, like Strawberry Hill House. I did at night because we went to a different place to do a nighttime video of the daytime. So we'd already done, so episode 2 we did during the day, We were going to go back and do part 2 at night, and we weren't allowed to go in. So we were like, oh, we need to do something. So we went to Strawberry Hill House, which is why it's at night time. Whereas the next video I'm doing, next investigation, is a daytime, afternoon, and night video. So it's going to be 3 parts.
You should do it live.
I might do one part of it live. I'm not going to do, because it's going to be about 5 or 6 hours worth of footage I'll be getting that day.
See, there's Mystic Cat. Night investigations are not so good. Like, I like to see surroundings, and so do I. I want to see where somebody's done. I want to see the castle. See, you're doing a ghost hunt at a castle. Right, you're walking up this dark passageway, and all you can see is a brick wall, a couple of stains of a cannon. That's it. But during the day, you get to see the turrets, the flags, the drawbridge, everything. You get the mirror of it. And that is the thing, Lex, it is true. Spirits are out all the time. All the time. In fact, I would say you're more likely to see them during the day.
Yeah, again, I don't think time of day matters. I think it depends on where you are. I think if you can go to a building that's not haunted, it's still going to be not haunted at nighttime. If you go to a place that's very active, it's going to be active, not all the time, but any time of the day, it could potentially be very active. I think the idea that time is a thing is because of cinema and movies, where everything happens at night time.
Night of the Living Dead. Why could it not be Day of the Living Dead? I mean,
yeah, but it's like Freddy Krueger only came out at night because only came out when you're asleep, which is technically at night time. But like any movie, during the day, the families of these haunted houses in the films are usually safe. They get a couple bits going on here and there, but the demon always turns up at night time, and it's like it's a trope, and it's a trope that gets very old in YouTube videos.
It's the same. It's the same as The Exorcist. The priest always turned up at night, never during the day. It was always the day. You see him standing outside the house, smoking a cigarette with his hat on, standing underneath the light. Never during the day. I mean, there's Noby Sock. A lot of cryptid sightings are during the day. Well, that's true. You get Bigfoot. You don't really see Bigfoot at night. You see him during the day.
There's one called. Have you ever heard of the Black Shuck?
No. What's that?
So the Black Shuck is something that my other half told me about, and ironically, she told me about it because I was playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and the big wolf in it is a depiction of the Black Shuck. Now, the Black Shuck actually is real in different cultures. One of them is Norse mythology, and it is pretty much like this big black wolf dog looking thing. It's like a bad omen, and that's
like a demon dog kind of thing.
Pretty much, yeah. I haven't done any research on it yet, but it is a demon dog, and I'm still trying to figure out where. I'm still need to look into it to see what it is. But I did see that someone had said they'd seen it not too long ago, and we were just like, "That's really weird." Because when she showed me the article about it, I was playing my game, and I was like, "Well, that's that." So now I have to look into it because it's an actual thing. I wanted to, that was seen during the day, and it was a 6 foot black dog. So it's stupid. I wouldn't say 6 feet, but it was huge apparently.
I do know there's been a lot of like demonic hauntings. A lot of like demon dogs have been seen. But that's what people say. They've seen all the big black dogs standing with the big red eyes. Until I see one jump out in front of me, I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, but it's the same as what we've said before. We go into every investigation to debunk the theory. And if we get proved that we can't debunk it, then it means we've done it right. That, thank God, we've got evidence. But I think it's the same when people tell me about Bigfoot. Do I believe in Bigfoot? And what? There's two questions. Yeah, so there's 2 ways of looking at it for me. Do I believe in Bigfoot? It's a question I would never answer because I think that puts me on one side of one fence. I will say that the idea of Bigfoot is very plausible. But I have questions reserved about how, in this day and age of photography, have we not caught a picture of it properly yet? If it existed or exists, but I won't say it does exist or doesn't because the idea is I don't know yet. I like the idea of it. I think it's been in folklore for years, so I believe that every story starts from somewhere.
See, Bigfoot. To be honest with you, I don't believe that Bigfoot. I do believe it exists, right? But I don't believe that it's a new reality. I think it's maybe something else. You know what I'm trying to say? It's maybe something that lives in a different reality and it can show itself. But you think about all
I
these
don't think that
reports
at all.
out the years. You think about all these reports out the years. Look at technology. Everybody's got one of these. Everybody's got one of these now, right? Why have my camera's a 4K camera. Why have I never got a picture? Why have I never seen a picture of Bigfoot?
Yeah,
I mean,
so that's always my biggest complaint about cryptids at the moment. Like same with UFOs. Now UFOs I believed in before I started looking at this, because if you don't believe in aliens, then you're an ignorant fool. We cannot be the only significant life in the universe. It's physically impossible. So if you don't believe in aliens, you're an idiot. Do they all look like scary creatures that are in film? Probably not. I've always said that the most disheartening thing in the world will be if we find another race of alien, but they look just like us. I'll be so like, oh, I wanted aliens, but I just got aliens that look like humans. So, yeah, there's some things. UFOs, again, this day and age, until the very recent one at Parachills that we're looking into, or that I looked into a while ago, I have yet to see a very good visual of a UFO. And it's like, this day and age, we have people who have cameras permanently stuck by their window in position.
Yeah.
And yet, when they bring out the video that they show us, it's all grainy.
I know.
I was like,
That's the
I was like,
only thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, hang on a second. In your description, you've told me what camera you're using. Let me Google the specs of that camera.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a camera that can zoom in perfectly on the moon to the point you can see each and all the craters detailed, but you can't film something 100 feet away from you. So, I don't think Bigfoot is. I don't think he's anything off the world. I don't think he's any. I disagree with you on the terms of different worlds. I think it's just I think there's a lot of the world that we don't know yet.
Look at our oceans. Look at our oceans.
Exactly.
We know
So
more about the surface of the moon than.
Yeah. So we don't know. Yeah, we don't know what lives inside of mountains if they're stuck in there. We don't know if there's things like that. So Bigfoot could be any of these things that live. We don't know that Bigfoot's not aquatic. Could look like a monkey, but he could swim. So does he live underwater? Is there a cave underwater? So there's a lot of possibilities for it to exist. I just find it highly unlikely that no one's ever had a camera on a hiking trip and taken a picture of it.
I see. That's the thing. That's the thing. Oh, I seen pictures running about Loch Ness, right? I seen pictures the other day about Loch Ness. It's the Loch Ness monster, right? We were reading the chat, and I'm looking at this and I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ! What were they using a 1 megapixel camera to take it? I mean,
I'm not gonna lie. The Loch Ness monster creation was a very good thing for tourists.
Yes,
because that's what it was for.
Maybe it is.
I don't believe in the Loch Ness monster whatsoever. I did as a kid. I believe that something potentially used to live there. I think something did used to live there, and it's now died hundreds of years ago, but it's been documented, and that's why it came about. And the people of Loch Ness decided, let's keep the tradition going and say it's still there. And then some guy with a toy dinosaur took a picture and made it famous.
Let's take it this way, right? I've watched programs on the Loch Ness monster. They've taken these boats and they've put all these highly sophisticated tech gear on it. They went up, they went down, they went up, they went down. They spent weeks there, right? And they've not found one single thing. But then you'll have somebody like this. Oh, but it's hiding. It knows it's looking, and it's hiding in a cave.
Yeah, but it's not.
You can say that about everything. Yeah.
I mean, it's not that big. I mean, its volume is 7.4 kilometers cube.
I've seen it.
So
I've driven it.
It's not. Times. Yeah, like it's pretty big, but it's not like impossibly big that something could elude people looking for it for years. So it's really weird because when I say that I don't believe in the Loch Ness monster, but people are weirded out that I will sit on the fence about Bigfoot, and they always question why, and I was like, because when you say Mr. Cat, if I don't,
it's a great tourism thing.
I think it was a legend of something that used to live there years ago, passed down through generations of people in Loch Ness and Scotland as a whole, probably. And then someone got the idea to let's bring people to this beautiful spot because Loch Ness is beautiful.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, this deserves people to see it. How can we make it on the map? Okay, what's really big at this time of the moment? Oh, controversy seems to be a big thing. Okay, cool. Well, last month we had that alien attack in America. Let's do a monster attack in Scotland, and we'll see what happens. And it worked.
Exactly. That's what
And
it is. I mean,
I think
I
it's
don't
a
believe
cool
that.
concept. I think it existed before. I won't say it never did.
Oh
I
no,
think it probably did. I don't think it to the
a couple of
extremes
million
of
miles
what they
ago.
say.
It's,
I just think back in the dinosaur age, I think maybe something
yes.
survived the dinosaur age, like crocodiles and alligators did, survived long enough to live in that lake by itself, and then it eventually died, and or it left and died somewhere else. But
What?
if it existed, we'd know by now. Bigfoot, on the other hand, could be loads of different things. It could just be a massive monkey that we've named a Sasquatch. It could be a form of
It's
evolution that went wrong. It could be
it
inbreeding.
could be.
It could be 100 different things.
See, the thing is, but I've never really heard. Did you get Bigfoot sightings in the UK? Do you?
No.
No. See, I mean, it's only America really, isn't it? And then you've got Russia where you get the Yeti. I could understand that. I could
Yeah.
understand that in Russia because there was that case where what was it? Was it the 1950s or the 1960s where all the Russian scientists were found all dead? Have you ever
Something like
seen
that.
that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they say their heads were ripped up and their bodies were strewn about. Let's face it, right? Say they all died, right? And
Mm.
out came wolves, and maybe the wolves maybe ripped into the tent to get to the dead bodies to nibble on them, right? And dragged them out. How do we ken that didn't happen? See? It was
Yeah.
about a
So
week or 2 weeks before. See,
yeah. So I mean, again, the Yeti is very plausible,
the
but
Yeti's more
there's
plausible than Bigfoot.
I think they're about the same. I think there's less
Mm.
chance of us finding I think there's more places for a Yeti to have hidden than Bigfoot, because Bigfoot apparently in one of the most technologically advanced countries, who found Bin Laden hiding in a small house in a different country, they can't find a giant
Saddam Hussein in the hole.
9 foot monkey that lives in a forest somewhere. It's it's just weird. I like the because I think it's
See,
cool.
that's
I think it's another life form. It's
maybe
proves
it's.
evolution, but it's just
I don't
weird.
think we'll. I don't think we'll be hungry. It's like the Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot. That's what it's like.
Yeah, but
Nobody's
look at the
until the
lifespans of
days.
these things. Look how long Bigfoot's been spoken about. Now, if Bigfoot was breeding, it would have been big feet. There would have been more than one.
Yeah.
We've never heard that there's a flock of them. We've always been told there's just one running around, and it's always one. And I was like, well, how long do you live for then? Because I'm 30 in 2 years, and I've known about Bigfoot since I was a kid. So how long is this thing's lifespan? I've looked up on Bigfoot, and it dates back.
A long time.
Yeah, so either this thing can live forever, it can change its own gender to reproduce, or it doesn't exist. And sadly, I think it is going to be. I think it might have lived years ago, and again, it's being told and told and told as a legend that is now being constantly seen. But
it's like you see other things. I mean, you see these folks. Oh, I seen a pterodactyl. And you look at them, they're like, "Hi, it was a pterodactyl." And then you find out it was a seagull. Okay, I mean,
so
I've seen cases.
people like that are weird. I was like, you saw something that lives off meat that didn't attack people, and you're the only one that saw this creature.
But we
Also,
just
do
need
you know
to
how big
remember
pterodactyls are?
very the size of a car. But
They're
here's the thing:
massive.
people will be like that to me. Oh, I seen a. People will be like that to me. I seen a pterodactyl on YouTube, and I'll just look at them and I'll like, really, YouTube. I mean, they don't realise how these things can be faked. Yeah, I mean, it's like
Yeah, I think
UFOs,
sadly,
right? It's the same with UFOs. Folk fake it.
yeah. Well, they do it for
But there is
attention. I think
UFOs.
if you fake a UFO video, they don't just put it
Mm-hmm.
on YouTube. They also send it to every newsroom in the country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then
That's what
some
they
of them are
do it
stupid
for.
enough to. I mean, look at that one with the alien.
The cardboard cutout one. Oh, well, that ended up in the newspaper. Yeah.
I mean, that
So,
was
yeah.
just
But
just
I think
ridiculous.
the problem with YouTube, and I mean this from a respectful point of view as a YouTuber, that the problem with YouTube is everyone thinks it's a valuable source of information 100% of the time, which it isn't.
No.
Now, YouTube is great at finding information and learning stuff. I would give it 30% of its content is probably informative.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of it is entertainment, bullshit, and vlogs. And music videos. So when people say that, oh, I saw that, I saw that video on YouTube, so it must be real. these
exactly.
guys never fake anything, but they found Bigfoot, they found the Loch Ness monster, they found the pterodactyl, but no one else ever did.
I mean,
So
I was watching.
that's the problem with YouTube is it's such an everyone can it's good and bad. Everyone can use the platform for whatever they want to use it for. We use it as
Exactly.
research and investigation. Some people use it for entertainment. And
It,
unfortunately, when people it's like people who use Wikipedia as research. It's not a valid excuse place for it's well not valid excuse. It's not a reliable source of information depending on who you're looking at. Now, if you want to learn something from me, and I'm going to start, I know if I start doing informative videos and telling you about, I mean, I do it on
hmm,
Parachills' thing on Tuesdays where I tell people how to fake how videos are being faked. I debunk them,
exactly. That's
and
what's
I'm
wrong
very
with
good at it.
YouTube.
So
That is what's wrong with YouTube. There's videos out there, and I can name them, but I'm not going to name them. And they're big channels, and they're, oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. It's a poltergeist throwing a camera.
it's
Oh,
not
look at this.
small
Aye.
small channels do it too, but I think everyone's guilty.
It's,
Like people do, everyone does this anyway. Like I do a little trick in my titles to make people click on them, and it's capital letters, and I put those bars of structure in. So it doesn't do massive bits, but
it's,
it makes it stand out. So that's not clickbait. That's just how you do a title.
aye.
But then the thing is, like YouTube, you have to trust is a big deal, and I don't think
Mm-hmm.
people who don't make content don't understand that you need to
No,
find people
it,
you can trust if in certain aspects of what you're looking for. Like
the
you can
only
trust a
thing,
musician to do music videos.
the
You wouldn't
only
ask that
thing
person to
is,
solve the world.
see, the only thing that I've got is that the day is these folk will bring out videos. Oh, I've seen a poltergeist. Oh, I've seen this, and you can tell the video's fake, right? But
Hmm.
then when a real person, ghost hunter, say you or me or somebody else, finds some evidence on camera and it looks amazing, right? See when you put that one there, folk will go, that's fake.
Yeah, but
Because folk
the
can fake
difference
it.
between me and the people that fake it is I can send you the real footage, raw footage.
Exactly.
So when I film my videos, I don't know how many of mine you've watched, but you'll see that
I've watched all
uh,
your videos.
when
Every one of them.
I do my tests for a very long time. Now, I have got every video file from the original filming session, which is from when I've propped the camera up on a stand with an SD card in it, hit record, and I don't move that camera.
No.
That's my, so if anyone disputes my videos, I will send them those videos because this is what I call my backup camera. So you've got the one that you walk around with in my hand,
No.
and that's my camera. That's the one I use. The one that's set up in the other ground is in case something happens that I can't see on my camera. We've got something that covers the
Mm-hmm.
whole room. I haven't even had to use this camera yet
Mm-hmm.
because I haven't had to use any of the footage yet because nothing big's happened in front of me yet. So, but I've always filming like this, walking around. That's what goes on YouTube. And now if someone wants to dispute the cup being thrown at me in that room, then fine. I will
I
send you the
seen
file
that.
from the other computer.
I seen that, and it was good.
Yeah, so I have something. That's what I think everyone should have. One is your backup room camera, and it's the one that you. Because the thing is, when you edit a video, if I was to
Mm-hmm.
send that video to my computer, then email it to you, you could find out in minutes if I'd run it through a program to edit it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I would just send people the raw footage. If they want to sit through 6 hours of investigations to find the bit which they think is fake, and then because this is the thing, if people who don't fake it, yes, it's annoying to say that people do say fake stuff, say it's fake. However, it doesn't bother me because I know it isn't. I also can back it up with the original video
Exactly.
file, and if they're petty enough to want to do it, I will send you the video file. You can run it through all your
Mm.
analytic software, and you can check it because that's just raw footage on a random
Oh
camera that I don't
man,
use.
man, I've seen some amount of crap videos on YouTube. I've seen some. I mean, you were talking about them the other night on Wednesday. What was the one where the school teacher says that the hall was haunted?
Oh
Is
yeah, yeah.
that? I mean, it's right. Somebody showed me that right when I first seen that. Somebody says, "Oh, that's a ghost," but there is a window right behind it.
hmm
Hmm.
There's a dude that
I,
set it up and recreated
yeah,
the video and showed how they did it.
I mean, I shared that one with you the night. The guy says it was I think it was the camera unsticking for the sticky stuff. It wasn't flung. If that had been flung, he would have kind of put it.
No, I think some people are very clever and some are very stupid. The video that we did on the Parachills reaction show, the last video clip we did
That
on
was a good
Wednesday, really good video. We only debunked it after we finished watching it, and I gave that thing praise. But after further analysis, we've pretty much figured it out that it's a fake video. And unfortunately, what they did that was very clever was it was a 360 cam. So when we played it on our stream, it didn't do 360. Obviously, it came out like this, so we can see everything at the same time, and that broke the illusion after closer inspection. So, and that was a very clever video. Whether or not it was a prank on the dude in the room, because I still believe his reaction was genuine, but the haunting itself was fake, and it was very clever.
That video you showed us your time was amazing. I could not debunk that whatsoever. The one with the goes kitchen.
The woman in the kitchen. Yeah, I still can't debunk it. I've ran it through software.
I watched that
I spoke to them.
30 times.
Yeah, the channel. I spoke to the channel and I was like, "Did anything else happen after this?" I still haven't watched the other videos yet, and I was like, "I still need to watch these, but has it still happened? Do you have any more?" No, nothing else has happened. So far, anyway. If it does, it goes up on the channel. So
the poltergeist one was quite interesting. The one was kind of the guy's cabinets open, everything comes flying about.
Yeah, but he claims it's real, but when anyone else to it validate it, so screw him.
It's a shame that, because if he would let a team in to investigate, it would validate his videos, and if his videos get validated,
I think it should be a legal obligation that he has to, because he's making money off of it by putting it onto a TV show. So. Exactly. He's either one of the world's biggest paranormal liars, and he's getting paid enough money for it, or he's lying and making money off of it. So it's one of the two. What are my thoughts on the Lizzie Borden house? Which one was that one again? Which one's Lizzie Borden?
Lizzie Borden. That's oh my god.
Because that one's it's in America, isn't it? Lizzie Borden's house.
Is that the one? Is that the one where she killed with the axe?
Yes, the double murder in 1892. I think it is.
Actually, that's
I do know that it appeared in Supernatural TV show.
It was in Ghost Adventurers. It was in Taps. You remember the Taps?
Yeah.
It was in the
so I'll answer. I can answer this as honestly as I can. I haven't seen a lot on it yet, and I've looked into haunted houses in the UK. But if you would like, I will look into this fully, and I'll come back on here and give my opinion on it. Then I don't want to answer something that I don't have all the facts for yet. I think it's an interesting. Yeah, I think it's an interesting house because of the double murder and the fact it was someone killed their parents. So. And 1892, very long time ago. That place has probably got rich, deep history. So, if you would like, who asked me the question? Sorry.
Yeah, who was that?
Dobby Sock. Yeah. So if you would like me to answer that question properly, then if you'd like, I'll come back on here next week and I will answer it then once I've looked into it.
That's what we'll do then. We'll do that.
But it does look interesting. The house looks creepy anyway. From what I remember, the picture of the house looks creepy.
See, since I've started researching stuff quite a lot.
You're welcome. No worries.
See, since I've been researching, guys, honestly, see some places they say super haunted. You can't find any evidence and stuff. They're like, this place, and it's they're like, oh my god, there's poltergeists and imps and demons and everything. See, when you research it,
then you get nothing. This is the thing that people do for attention. If a place is that haunted, let's say the house I'm living in now. Imagine it was built in. We'll use the same dates, 1859. That's how old this house is. All that time, people have come in and been killed in this house. People have died in this house, and all this stuff. So all that history, and then let's say for the last 100 years, it was regularly documented that things were happening in the house, and stuff like that, all the way up to now. Then we get the case, and I look at it, and the first thing I see is 100 years ago, this incident happened, then this happened, then this happened. That's a case I'm going to put my time in. If I get a case that all I get is either one article and it's a cup being moved by itself or something tiny,
See,
or
that's the
nothing at
problem.
all, I'm not looking at it, because someone's obviously just said it's a haunted house for the sake of it being a haunted house.
See, there's
That-
some of them. There's some of them that I've went to look at, like, and as you know, because I did reports on them and that. And this place, I'll talk to you after a bit, but it was really, really, really haunted. And they had ghost investigators in, right? I watched the full 3 hours of their investigation.
Yeah.
Only one of these people, it was only one ghost hunter, and not once did I see an orb. Not once did I see it move. The only thing that I seen was them going, oh, something touched me in my arm. Something touched my foot. Something touched my leg. That's all I got. And then I just thought to myself, see, that's by the way, they could be easily making that up.
Yeah, so I'm glad you mentioned orbs, because I want to touch on that now as well.
Some are dust, some are not.
So let me elaborate. Since I have mentioned orbs in 2 of my videos, I've had them in every video. I'll make it official from today. Orbs will never be evidence in my investigations ever, because it's not. There are physically 50 plus ways that can create a pattern like that on your screen. It's not. I don't think they're ghosts. The fact that most haunted TV show used it as evidence, it's not evidence.
There's some that I've seen, but there is some that I've seen, but they're no like orbs. They're different. They look like orbs, but they're no orbs. They're more like the island case, for instance. You know, the one that I shared with you.
Yeah,
the one where it comes out the floor, but it's not like an orb. It's different. It just goes up and it goes round.
Yeah, so if it travels up, it can still. Like I said, there's 50 plus ways that you can manipulate light on camera without realizing it. You know, it could be any. There's a reason when people say, "Yeah, but look at the way it moved. It went like this."
Exactly.
And then must be an orb, because dust doesn't move like that. I went, okay, shake your lampshade and blow on it, and track me one piece of dust. Which way does it move? It does this, because dust is ridiculously light. It's not just that though. It's a camera lens. People don't realize a camera lens has more than one piece of glass inside of it. Depending which lens you get, you can have up to, I think it's like up to 8 pieces of glass that are in it, maybe more. And light, yeah, and like a diamond, if you shine a light through it, it bounces off the panels of glass. And if you were to film that, it looks like an orb. So I will always if people point them out to me in my videos, I'm always going to appreciate it and be like, okay, yeah, we did see it, but we don't document orbs as evidence, because there's too much about it that can be inaccurate or false. And that's it. I don't think I've done research papers on hauntings, and the minute orbs come up, I completely omit it from the report. I don't report orbs. But that's just me. If people want to use them as evidence, they can. But if someone gives you, if you look at a haunted house and your articles are all orb based, it's full of shit. So maybe if I'm proved wrong one day, if an orb turns into a humanoid shape and then back into an orb and then flies off, then I'll believe it. But yeah, I just don't. Yeah, there's so much that could do it.
Right, here's one for you. What about light anomalies?
Light anomalies. So this will depend on which type you're referring to.
Well, there was one case where I seen it. I don't know if it was Ghost Adventures. I can't mind who it was. It was on YouTube. Now, what they did was, it was quite clever. They put plastic bags out of the windows. So there's no street lights. So they done that. They set up the camera on night vision, and they shut the door. And obviously there's no light in the room, and you see the wee orb come out, but it's red. And it goes up and it moves. But then again, could it be maybe the camera, the way it works with the reflection of the lenses?
Yeah, potentially could be. In terms of coloured orbs, because one of mine was orange, which I thought was really weird. The coloured orbs, they could be technical. It could be something in your, like an actual error in your camera that does it. It could just be, again, it could be trapped glint on your lens. Maybe you have a tiny issue with it. Maybe there's something already on your lens, and then you're shining a light through it and it's falling off the lens. because they might have blocked all the light out in the room, but they didn't take the glasses out of the lenses and take all the dust off of them. So it could be 100 different things.
See, the thing is, I've got an SLS I've got an SLR camera, professional, right? Big
Yeah, so
with different lenses, and I kid you not, in the chat, guys. It doesn't matter what you do to keep the dust off this thing. It doesn't matter if you keep
it's a pain in the arse.
I just don't know. I keep it all tidy, right? I put my lenses, and it'll be spotless. I'll take it out the bag. I'll put it on my neck. I'll go to walk to a location. I'll take the cap off, and there'll be dust there. And I'll be
it's literally the biggest pain in the arse.
And you're like, where the hell did that come from? I mean, that's no problem.
So this is why I chose to completely omit them as evidence. I think because you can't control it. No. So you wouldn't do a science experiment with variables you can't control, because then it wouldn't be an experiment. It would just be pseudoscience.
It's the same with stuff moving, right? Say for instance, you've got the camera aiming at a table, right? And on that table there's a can, right? And that can slides slightly. I would maybe believe that it's haunted, right? But see when doors open, right? Like, oh, look at the doors, look at the doors. See if you're in a big house and you open the door somewhere else, like the back door, the front door, the wind pressure, the air pressure changes. And I've seen doors going ee like that. What's your thoughts on that? See when you get the ghost hunting and that, and a door will open, right?
Yeah.
But you can't see the bottom of the door. That's always annoys me. Because it could be somebody standing on a plank. It could be.
Yeah, so it doesn't. There's two ways around it. So the first one is to have two cameras running simultaneously on either side. So one of them is facing the whole room, so they can still see the door. The other one's pointed at the other side of the door. Do something that proves that you can see they're running at the same time. An example of that would be to leave that footage in RAW. Obviously, edit it to the point where you know things are going to move. When things have moved, so you're not going to sit through. So you're not making us watch through like 10 minutes of nothing. Yeah, but you run it on both. You switch between both cameras, but have one person stood in front of the door, so they're visible on both cameras at the same time. So we can see it's filmed in real time. So you can do that. The other one, so it does bother me that you can't see the bottom of the doors, but this is the trust. You have to trust the person doing the video that they have a history of being legit or fake. Sometimes the camera angles are pretty hard to get the whole door, and if you only have one camera, then you can't do the multi angle. So it does bother me. I think it should be said. The thing that annoys me is if they're not in the room at all, the door opens, and you can't. So if you're going to leave a camera somewhere, then leave the house. You should make sure the bottom of the door is visible because of that reason, because you're saying you're not in the house. But
I've seen a lot of stuff, Lex. I mean, I've seen ones where they always set up a camera in this room and the door's locked, right? And then all of a sudden the handle starts to go, right? Oh, look, it goes. How do you mean okay, there's somebody else on the other side of that door?
So this is why I use the term quite a lot, but I use the term Rambo it. If I'm in a house and the door opens by itself, I'm running through that door with my camera. I'm not going to run away in fear, turn around, and then look back at an empty door and be like, oh, there's no one there. Because what you've done when you turn around and run away and then turn back, you've given your friend time to get out of shot. And I don't agree with that. I get that people get scared and they run away, and that's fine. But the thing, like, if a door opens, it doesn't mean an axe has been thrown at you. So it doesn't mean it's dangerous. So just run through the door. Show me there's no one on the other side. This is the big thing. I don't think it's because it's not happened to me yet. This is probably why I can say that. Nothing's happened to me that's made me run out of a room yet. But maybe it will change when a door swings open on me.
I can just see it. I can just see it with a pair of chills will be doing an investigation. You'll be up the stairs, we'll all be at the front and all here. You'll come running.
What's that? Oh, Lex has found something. Yeah, so I wouldn't. I don't think personally, because I have seen some scary stuff. I don't think I'll run away. I'm 90% sure I'll Rambo it through the door. The only time I wouldn't, and I think this is mainly due to exactly. So I think this is mainly due to a human error that I think I wouldn't, is if I was underground or in a basement. Then if there was a doorway in the basement that opened by itself, there's a chance I would use my torch and try and peek it from quite a distance, but try and get every angle, because I don't know if someone was camping in the basement of an abandoned house and I've woke them up, and stuff like that. I mean, that's why I make my presence known very quickly when I enter buildings, where I'll say something like, I'm in here to look around. If there's anyone here, please say hello. Not going to do anything. Whatever. I try and make myself known. So I've been to places before where I've said hello really loud, like quickly, and then someone's been like, "Oh, yeah, I'm in here." And I'm like, "Okay, cool.
All
I'll
right,
come back
mate.
later on."
It's
Yeah, so
always better to go
most
round
of the
during
time
the
they
day.
understand it. Yeah, that's why I always do
Yeah.
walkarounds, because you don't know who's going to be in there. But I think that's the only time I wouldn't do it. When I'm in underground or in a basement, would be the only time I probably wouldn't Rambo it, just because I don't know who's going to be on the other side of that door. But if I'm in someone's house helping them out and they've called me in for an investigation, and for some reason their bedroom door opens by itself while I'm inside the room, then I'm going to run into the corridor and show the camera on both sides. But again, this is also why I also want to have, again, while I'm filming in that room, if the door opens by itself, so you can see that I'm the only one in the room by turning around all the time, I'm still going to have another camera pointing at the outside of that door just in case. But this is what people
Game,
should be doing, is preparing for that.
game I've always thought about, right? I've always thought about this is a great idea. You're walking about in the dark with your camera, right? I think, see how you get the cameras, the GoPros. I
Yeah,
think you should always have one in your back, aiming behind you.
that's a very good idea. So I usually have another person with a camera with me, so they have one that way and I have one that way.
Right. But see, what I'm saying is that, say, for instance, you were alone, right, and you're going in that into the hallway. See if you had one in your back and you turned
Yeah.
round really quickly, just by mistake, say you were scattered, I don't know. At least you would have the footage in that to prove that there was nobody behind you in that room.
Oh
I've
yeah, I
seen a
do agree, because
right,
that's a really good idea.
because I've seen a lot of videos on YouTube of like, oh, I can feel a presence, and they run out the room, but you catch a glimpse of something running out the door, and I think it's another person. But see
But
if you
this
get the
is this
footage
is
constantly recording.
but this is why I don't understand why people, when they go on their own, they don't go earlier in the day and set up static cameras.
Mm.
Because that's what I will be doing on my solo investigations. I'll go there an hour before I start filming and set all my cameras up where I know I'm going to be walking by myself. And that way I don't have to look. I mean, I don't have to look behind me, which scares me anyway in the dark. I don't want to have to turn around and there might be something there. So I'll just keep walking forward, doing what I'm doing. And at least I know 100% that on both sides of this corridor, there's a camera
Aye.
pointing forwards and a camera pointing that way. So there's 3 cameras in this corridor. So we'll debunk the theory. It just
Because
takes
you hear,
planning. You can tell how often you can see. The thing is, like, people say it's excessive, but you have to prepare for this kind of stuff. Like we've said it before, you could record in one room for 6 hours and you'll get less than 10 seconds worth of decent footage out of it.
see, that's what
And
people
what
don't
if you miss
realise.
it because you have one camera pointed at one spot? It doesn't
See,
make sense. You should be prepared.
that's what people don't realise. They watch Ghost Adventures and all that. Ghost Adventures used to be great. See now, I think it's a load of rubbish. It's all money,
Well,
right?
I said this. I said this last time, didn't I? Where Zach Baggins has become very self-aware of the brand he's created, and I think he's lost his belief in the paranormal, but he's now found a new belief in money, and that's why he now
Yes.
fakes it.
See, you hear on YouTube, and you hear these guys that are walking up the hallway, and they're like, I can hear something behind me, but I'm feared to look. Perfect opportunity for the camera in the back.
Not just that. Just do this. You're holding a camera.
I'm very skeptical of a lot of YouTubers. I'm very skeptical. I've seen multiple videos that they've done, and they just, I don't know, they just look odd. Some of them have been chopped and fiddled with. And
yeah. Well, I think people are a lot smarter to work out when it's real or not. However, as I know, a very popular ghost hunting YouTube channel is definitely fake, but they've got a huge following. So my faith's not really in the people there. I think people believe what they want to believe. If they want to believe their YouTubers are telling the truth, then that's fine.
That's the problem. That's the
problem. I will say that I would not have someone dictate to me who I can and can't look at in terms of if they're fake or not, because this is my job and I take it very seriously. So if I see a channel that gets recommended to me I don't know, like I've had someone before, so someone sent me a link and they were like, I follow quite a lot of people that you follow and talk to. Is there any reason to think that this channel is fake because I don't want to invest time into a fake channel. So I looked at the videos and couldn't find one. So I sent them a message back. Was like, no, as far as I'm aware, this one's legit. By all means, follow. Enjoy the content, whatever. They messaged me again with a big YouTuber's link, and this channel started out quite legit, and now they're massive and they're ridiculously fake. And I said that to them. I was like, you can watch the channel, but I would probably stop up to 3 years ago because that's when they started faking it. And I think people appreciate that honesty because, again, I don't care that people make them. I just care that I'm supposed to pretend that I don't think it's fake. Because people get worried when you say you're going to debunk ghost videos, and I do them every week. But I just think I know I have the right to do it. I think
you do, and I'll tell you something now. See that video Parachills did with you guys on Wednesday. That guys in the chat, you need to go and watch that. That was awfully good. I liked how you were debunking stuff. No many folk do that. That's the thing. There's no many folk on YouTube that debunk stuff. And that's
I can tell you why.
Mary.
I'll tell you why they don't do it. Because they get attacked by the masses of the fan base. And unfortunately, I've made this very clear to Chris at Parachills that I am more than happy to have people's fan bases come at me and have a go at me because I called their channels fake, because I will do it with evidence. The reason why I'm not these channels now that I know they're fake is because I haven't made videos on them yet. And I don't know if I'm going to because I don't see the point. But if I get but if there are people that are sending us at Parachills clips to review and I can see how it's fake, I will tell you how it's fake. And I think because this is a real thing. And I respect it in that way. And this is the fact. I think it's the reason they don't debunk it is because they get attacked. It's the same reason why people get attacked for. People compare it to magicians, where if you debunk a magician's magic tricks, you're an asshole. You ruin the show, which is true. Which is why you don't see that many people, except for that one famous magician that went on TV and did a show about it. And
I think it's a good thing. It's a good thing that you're doing that.
I didn't like it with magicians because that's entertainment that you're ruining for everyone else. When you're doing it to a research division. Then this is research. It's technically a science, and this is why I refer to myself as a paranormal scientist, which I am, not just an investigator. And in my scientific field, I have the right to debunk someone else's theory, same as normal science. And again, I'm happy if people get upset about it. If you get upset about it, then that's fine. But if you can't prove me wrong.
But then you might find a bit of evidence where somebody said, oh, look at this, there's a demon coming towards me, it's big glowing eyes and stuff like that. And then you might run it as much as possible and it might come out true. And then you're like, oh my God, what have I got here?
That can happen, except I can break down video software. So I will tell you if a video has been edited. It doesn't take long. Anyone can do it. This is what I don't get. This is why I don't get why people think it's... I mean, this is why you see a lot of fake videos don't use tech. They use people using strings and stuff because it's harder to catch on film. I can't tell from a video file that someone else is in the room, but I have been sent some where people have used sound clips. So
there's been ones where I've seen them and I thought straight away, oh my God, this is terrible. And you can see with 20,000 likes and 5 thumbs down. You know what I mean? And
but that's the most insulting thing. They're getting paid to fake it. And if they weren't getting paid, if YouTube didn't pay anyone for any content ever, and it was just a fun social video site, would I have as much of a right to debunk a video then as I do now? Probably not, because it's their own time they're doing it with. But the fact they're being paid for it and they're not disclosing it as entertainment means I have every right to tell them that it's not.
Exactly.
Because you're being paid and I'm not. And I'm not faking mine, and you are. So I'm more than happy to do it. I think it's great. I think the show went really well. For the guys in the chat, go to Parachills and look at reaction.
Guys,
it was out on Wednesday.
I'll post it in Age of Darkness, guys, shortly when I upload this video. But you need to go to Parachills and check out their videos.
You'll get to meet Spencer the alien. the funniest fake photo I've ever seen in my life.
I can't believe the papers fell for that.
Yeah,
I can't seriously. That was just ridiculous or stupid.
Well, this is before the Harry and Meghan interview, so they obviously wanted to fill the pages until they could do that interview in print. So,
well,
I need to find it.
I'll end this live and then I'll talk to you back in the other bit. Right, guys, thanks for coming tonight, and we'll see you next Saturday night.
Peace.